we are down to 12. Good morning, everyone. I'm Andrew Felios, and welcome to the Bob Devaney Sports Center. It's great to have you with us today for this championship Saturday. I'm, of course, the KOLN Sports Director, John Bishop, KLIN. One day, you're a 10-11 sports guy, and again, it's great to have you with us for this 10th year.
Proud to be here, too, my 10th year at the state tournament. 95 years of state boys basketball, and every year consecutively since 1958, 10-11 has been here for you on Championship Saturday. We have a dynamic dozen here for you this afternoon. Well, it's technically this morning. This afternoon and this evening, as this first game will tip off between Ravenna and Wakefield in the C-2 championship game. What an interesting matchup this is going to prove to be, because you have Ravenna, the team that is undefeated, and they start 4 juniors, so this could be a mini dynasty in the making. On the other side, you have Wakefield. Here is a program that was not expected to be here. In the 10 years I've been doing this, I cannot remember a team that had to come in through the play-in game in its sub-districts. They were the 4th seed in their sub-districts. Not only did they upset everybody leading to state, but they've knocked off 2 consecutive opponents to get to the championship game. Does Goliath have one more rock in his sling? We'll find out. It's Ravenna and Wakefield. It's the C2 Boys State Championship. Let's meet them as we go across the way to our public address announcer, Rich Broderson.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Nebraska School Activities Association, welcome to the Bob Devaney Sports Center for the 2005 Nebraska High School Boys State Basketball Tournament. Now for today's Class C2 championship game between the 20-7 Wakefield Trojans and the 26-0 Ravenna Blue Jays. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the lineups. First for the non-starters for Wakefield. Number 4, Joel Nixon. Number 30, Aaron Klein. Number 32, Kyle Gardner. Number 33, Jim Bierbauer. Number 34, Marion Miner. Number 50, Tanner Soderberg. And number 53, Max Grieve. And now the non-starters for Ravenna. Number 15, Nathan Ritz. Number 22, Tanner Schroll. Number 24, Andy Schlund. Number 30, Logan Barrett. Number 41, Lucas Tonnages. Number 42, Tyler Teichmeyer. And number 50, John Grabowski. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the starting lineup for the Wakefield Trojans. A 5'7" junior, number 5, Luke Henderson. A 5'10" senior, number 22, Taylor Peters. A 5'9" junior, number 23, Andy Hempel. A 6' senior, number 24, Cody Miller. And a 6'2" junior, number 45, Corey Gustafson. The assistant coaches for the Trojans are Al Johnson and Tori Nixon. And the head coach for Wakefield High School is Mike Clay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's a starting lineup for the Ravenna Blue Jays. A 5'11" junior, number 21, Tyler Saborn. A 6'4" junior, number 31, Drake Baronic. A 5'11" junior, number 32, James Habe. A 6'6" senior, number 40, Josh Luth. And a 6'2" junior, number 43, Justin Kowicki. The assistant coaches for the Blue Jays are Dan Bowling, Brent Gehring, Randy Basnett, and Tony Shermer. And the head coach for Ravenna High School is Paul Baronic. Ladies and gentlemen, the officials for today's Class C-2 championship game are David Bryant and Todd Yorkes. The bench official is Kelly Clausen. Ladies and gentlemen, with branches located throughout Nebraska, U.S. Bank is pleased to be a premier partner of the Nebraska School Activities Association. The Nebraska School Activities Association and U.S. Bank congratulate Wakefield High School and Ravenna High School on their athletic excellence and sportsmanship, and welcome the teams, their coaches, students, and families to the 2005 Boys State Basketball Tournament. Thanks for joining U.S. Bank and the Nebraska School Activities Association in putting students first.
We are ready to play basketball. We are ready to play basketball as Ravenna and Wakefield get ready to tip off in the C-2 championship game. As we mentioned, Wakefield had to use a play-in game to get here. It does not happen very often that even those types of teams even get to the state tournament, but Wakefield has managed to do that and more. But here's Ravenna right off the get-go. And Drake Baronic, who has averaged 29 points a game in this state tournament with the quick drive off the opening tip. He's fouled, he goes to the line. Ravenna is gonna run, they're gonna press, they're gonna play in the man-to-man. They are going to fly as much as possible.
Saw a sample of that right there. Jake Baronic going right to the hole. Wakefield's got to slow this game down. They're not a very high-scoring team. This game's got to be played in the 50s, at the most the 60s.
No question about that. In fact, Ravenna has had 68 points in its first two state tournament games. You have to go back to a win over Kearney Catholic, the last time that Ravenna scored less than 60 points in a game, as Corey Gustafson hits on two, and Wakefield is down by one here. Opening moments of play here in the C-2 championship game. Up at the top, it's Cyborn. Outside, open three, Luth, no. Rebound to Wakefield. One thing about this Ravenna team, Rick Peters, the head coach at St. Paul, was quoted as saying it's one of the tightest knit groups I have ever seen. And the scary thing is, you know what they're gonna do to you, meaning Ravenna. You know what they're gonna do to you, but you still can't stop it. And they have not been stopped in 26 games. Here's a steal down in the front court. Cyborn throws up a lopsided shot as he and Wakefield's Andy Hampel collide. No foul, they let the play continue. It'll be Wakefield basketball trailing 3-2.
Two key players for Wakefield going to be Taylor Peters, 22, Andy Hampel, 23. Couple of guards along with Luke Henderson, just a junior. They got to control tempo. As we've stated, no team has been able to slow down Ravenna so far this year.
A drive to the baseline, a little underhand dish in the paint, rolls around and out. Gustafson. Into the front court, this is Jim Habe. Cyborn up top, it goes to Luke. They're gonna look inside for Baronic. And even though he was falling back and the Wakefield faithful were calling for a travel, Drake Baronic is good for two more. He's already got the team's first 5 points as we have a foul in the backcourt. Blue Jays aggressive all game long. The foul is going to be on Justin Kulwicki, and that's the first team foul on Ravenna.
Not a lot of high scores on this Wakefield team either. There's only one guy that averages over 10 points. That's Corey Gustafson.
Up ahead, here's Peters. Lost it. Ravenna. Habe down the floor. Underhand dish. The layup is up and in. Drake Baronic has all 7 Ravenna points here in the first 2 minutes plus.
He's a tough player, too. Looks like he goes about 6'1", 6'2", very lengthy, can get up and down the floor. He's a great player in Class C2.
He averages 20 points and nearly 10 rebounds a game. To the baseline. Jumper is short by Miller. Rebound to the Blue Jays. Luth up ahead to Habe. Here's Beranek in the paint, went up in the air and lost it. Taylor Peters with the takeaway. Peters down the floor. Quickly drew a double team and has to back it up. 7-2 in favor of Ravenna. 3 minutes into the game here, and a turnover. Threw it right into the hands of Beranek. Very close to being over and back as he had 1 foot in and thought he was going to head back out. Ball was thrown away. They tried to shoot a pass to the weak side. Kowicki could not handle it. It was a little too high.
John, we talked about in these tournament games, this early morning game, which team looks like that they were ready to get up to their alarm clocks this morning. This is the toughest game, I think, to play in any championship Saturday, because you got to come out. The fans are enthused, but is the team enthused? That's the big question.
Most of the advantages, most of these C-2 games, they get over relatively early, but it gets earlier as time goes by, as we have a drive and a foul. Luke Henderson going up strong, and this one's going to be on Josh Luth. That'll be his first, the team's second. 4:31 left first quarter. Ravenna, more specifically, Drake Beranek, 7, Wakefield, 2. And here's Luke Henderson, had 4 points in the win on Thursday, 7 points yesterday in the upset over North Platte St. Pat's. He averages just 2.6 points a game. Missed the first free throw. Wakefield still trying to break that 2. In and out, missed the second. So 0 for 2 on that trip to the line, and Ravenna back into the front court. Cyborn, who averages 17 points a game and has been about on that pace through the tournament with the ball. Now to Beranek. They look inside for Luth. Tries to power his way in. Nice little soft one-hander. And rolls off the front of the iron and in. It's 9-2.
Yeah, big-time size advantage that time for Josh Luth down on the blocks.
So far, Ravenna's press has not been daunting for Wakefield, but it's been getting into the front court and trying to get into their offense, which has been a problem. There was an open look for Cody Miller, and he goes too strong. Now into the front court, Beranek. Blue Jays lead at 9-2. Bounce pass, tried to enter it, and a nice takeaway. Cody Miller had that one anticipated. And another steal for the Trojans as they try to break this scoring drought. Gustafson had 2 points in the first minute, and Wakefield has been held scoreless since. Gustafson with the ball, now over across to Henderson. Beranek getting his hands in there. Outside, open 3, too long.
The reach of the Ravenna players, much taller. They can extend a lot further on defense. Right now, Wakefield's having a hard time adjusting to that.
This is also the first game these two teams have played here in the Sports Center, so you get used to different rims, different background, different atmosphere.
Yeah, it makes a big difference when you're playing over at Pershing or at one of the high schools than when you're here on center court of this state tournament.
Over in the corner, a look inside, fade away at the baseline, no, and the rebound for Cyborn of Ravenna. Nice move into the front court, all the way down. Turnaround fade away, short, and the rebound to Wakefield. Really, Beranek has 7, Ravenna's got 9, but neither team really has gotten into much of a flow offensively. They're still trying to get their basketball legs under them a little bit here. Look inside. Again, drawing the double team. There's a wide open 3, and it's short. Blue Jays doing a nice job of double teaming in the paint. Wakefield's got to be a little bit more aggressive when they get down there. High floater way over the top of the rim, and we're either seeing shots come up very short or going over the top of the backboard, or over the top of the basket.
That's right. Wakefield needs a good shot. There's one.
Well, they got it, and it is short. So a lot of shots on goal, but not a whole lot of points. 9-2 Ravenna. A minute and a half left to go here in the first quarter.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Ravenna here go inside every time they've gotten the ball down low to Beranek or Luth. It's been a field goal.
Kowicki. They whip it around. Cyborn for 3. He's got it. his first 3 points, and Ravenna now is up by 10 with just over a minute to play here in the first quarter.
Wakefield's going to need a timeout here. If they don't, there they go. They just go ahead and take one.
Timeout called by Mike Clay and Wakefield. 1:04 left to go here in the first quarter. A very rapidly paced first quarter. A lot of shots, as we mentioned, but just not a lot of connections. Wakefield. We're going to step aside, take a quick break. We'll be right back for the final minute of the first quarter. Stay right there. Championship game from the Devaney Center. Welcome John Bishop, Andrew Felios, Kyle D'Elia, who we will be speaking to at halftime. Our entire 10-11 crew, and of course statewide coverage available on NET. Wakefield, just 2 points here in the first 7 minutes of this basketball game, trying to get off the slump here. Another three, third three in a row taken by Wakefield, and finally an offensive rebound and a second chance. Just outside the blocks, and it's short. Just about every Wakefield shot seems to be short.
Yeah, right now, Wakefield shooting 1 of 9 for the field, only 11%. It's not going to get it done against Ravenna. This is a team, you got to break their press, then you got to make them pay. You got to convert those broken presses into 2 points.
And not a good inbounds pass. Baronic, though, from behind, taken away. Can he save it? Yes! A fantastic play. Andy Hampel doing a nice job, and now a reach-in foul in the backcourt. Really, it doesn't appear as if that press has been too tough for Wakefield to handle so far, and I don't think Ravenna has brought the full heat, at least in this opening quarter. It's just when they get into their offense,
gotta be aggressive.
They've had some good shots, but I think it's perhaps time maybe for a few more drives, get point-blank shots at goal.
They've been a little tentative taking their shots. I think they're a little overwhelmed, as I said, with the Ravenna size and the speed right now on defense.
And a turnover as Peters could not handle it. Wakefield, a great baseball town. This is a town that loves its baseball. They've got some really good Legion programs. They've been many times Legion champs. Got some beautiful facilities. But right now, it's about basketball. 10 seconds left in the period. Off the loose ball, a shot up at goal, no, by Kulwicki. Rebound to Wakefield. Can they get off a final shot? Peters into the front court. 2 seconds left. He's going to have to hurry from the corner. It will count if it goes, and it does not. That's been the story of the first quarter. Wakefield, 1 of their first 11. Ravenna 12, Wakefield 2. Second quarter is next. Welcome back to the Bob Devaney Sports Center as we get ready for the second 8 minutes. Ravenna leading at 12-2. Wakefield just 1 out of their first 11 from the floor. We'll get another crack at it here as they get the ball to start the second quarter. Their first points came from Gustafson in the first minute of the game, and since then it has been scoreless. Taylor Peters, who averages 10 points a game. Gustafson is the leading scorer for Wakefield, averaging 11. This is Henderson. Being pressured by Cyborn to the sideline. Baronic. Yes.
Oh, man.
Nice play by Drake Baronic as you take a look at Paul Baronic, the head coach at Ravenna.
This Ravenna team really gets after you on defense.
12-2. Wakefield's doing a nice job of getting their hands in there defensively. Open three, top of the key, just a bit short. Rebound off the glass, pulled down by Ravenna. They'll get another look. 3 on the way is good.
Offensive rebound, second chances. You can't let that happen against this Ravenna team. They're too good. You can't give them second and third looks.
And a turnover, and there's the press. Really, you saw a little bit of it in the first quarter, but it wasn't anything that Wakefield couldn't handle. Now, off the made 3, Ravenna forces the turnover, and now they can really put a dent in Wakefield's hopes here. Short for 3, we got a foul over the back. Havey, who just made the 3.
Penalty number 32, James Hay. His first personal foul, 14th
14th foul. Hay, I beg your pardon. Here's a press again. Wide open down the floor. Cody Miller was standing by himself there for a while, but no one on Wakefield's side could see him. Drive to the baseline, and he fumbles it. A turnover. That would have been a point-blank shot at the goal, but Peters couldn't handle it. Early nerves for Wakefield here. Can't afford to get down much further. Ravenna is a team that can put you away in a hurry. They've averaged a 29-point margin of victory this season. Offensive board, put back off the glass is good. Josh Luth.
Just dominating right now inside. Baranek and Luth, just too much size.
Into the front court, and a foul. It's going to be on Baranek, I believe. Yep. That's his first. Team foul number 5 on Ravenna. 6:01 left here in the second. Wakefield is still stuck on 2. They have now been held scoreless for 10 minutes.
John, these two teams did not play each other in this state tournament, but Ravenna said they had a chance to sit down and watch Wakefield play twice. And he said that his team was able to get a good strategy together just by watching those games.
Now a foul on Wakefield is coming in was Andy Hampel after the missed shot. Actually, the foul's going to be whistled on Gustafson. That's his first. The team foul number 2 on Wakefield. Still stuck on 2. Ravenna leads by 15. Class C-2 championship game. First of 6 on Championship Saturday. It's the 95th Boys State Basketball Tournament. John Bishop, Andrew Felios here courtside. Kyle D'Elia will join us at halftime. Ravenna with a 15-point lead. Wakefield 1 out of their first 12, and they haven't scored since the first minute of play.
This has not been the start that Wakefield wanted. This game has been played at a frantic pace, and that's not to their advantage.
And an open 3 for Baranek. And it's now 20-2. To the baseline. Tried to dish off, and I believe they're fortunate enough here they'll get the ball back.
It's tough, John, to come back when you don't get out to a good start against a high-scoring team. It's so hard to come back.
Nice job off the inbounds play, but the shot was blocked by Kulwicki. Back into the hands of Wakefield. Hop step in the lane, and finally Wakefield gets a field goal. Corey Gustafson, who made the first, scores with just under 5 minutes to play here in the second. So they went over 10 minutes without a point.
Oh, man,
nice dish. Cutting through the lane, a wide open Drake Baranek for the layup, and it's 22-4.
That's awesome execution that time by Ravenna. I don't know if Wakefield can stay in this man-to-man because they just do not match up very well with this Ravenna team.
Look inside, back to the basket, a turnaround shot, no, and the ball was off the rim and out. No one else touched it. Ravenna basketball. Really, if you look at it, Wakefield has not shot the ball well in this state tournament since the third quarter of yesterday's. All right, I beg your pardon. It was the fourth quarter of their first round win over Bridgeport. They went the whole fourth quarter without a field goal, but they shot 11 of 17 from the free throw line, and they were able to hold off Bridgeport.
Yeah, well, this is a different story here today, John. Ravenna is just in a different league, I think, than Bridgeport.
Bridgeport was the number 2 ranked team in the state coming into the game, or into the tournament, I should say. Joel Nixon is in off the Wakefield bench. This is a team that survived a 3-game losing streak early in the season and has only lost 3 games since. Now it's 24-4. Open 3. Again, over the top of the basket.
That is just not what they want for Wakefield.
There's a three. Cyborg has his shot blocked, follows it, stays with it. Now Baronic traveled. Coach says that's all right.
That's okay.
Even though the shot would have been good, he walked with it. Now into the game for Wakefield. Marion Miner will check in. He is the tallest player on this Wakefield roster at 6'4", and the senior averages 2 points a game.
You see, though, how it is. The first game, 9:30 in the morning, you have a team comes out tenacious and pressing like this. If you aren't ready for it, they could hit you in the face in a hurry.
Up ahead, and we'll have a foul. And 2 free throws coming up for Corey Gustafson, who has scored all 4 points for the Trojans so far. Foul was on James Habe. That's his second, team foul number 6 on the Blue Jays. So here's Gustafson, 18 points yesterday in the win over North Platte St. Pat's, and 12 against Bridgeport on Thursday.
This was a team, Wakefield, that earlier in the season, their coach, Mike Clay, said went to the Wayne State shootout, lost all 3 games in that tournament. They were 5-4 at that point, but it was after that Wayne State shootout where things just started to turn around.
And as we mentioned, they've only lost 3 games since, including really a dream ride through the districts and into state. As we mentioned, Wakefield is here via the play-in game. In other words, they were not one of the top seeds in their sub-district. Offensive rebound, put back short, and a foul as crashing to the floor is Ravenna's Tyler Cyborn. And not only will he go to the floor, but he'll pick up the foul, and that's number 7 on Ravenna, so Wakefield will shoot free throws.
Number 41, Lucas Tonnages, and number 30, Logan Barrett.
Substitutions coming in. Lucas Tonjes
At the line for Wakefield,
in
number
for
45,
Ravenna.
Corey Gustafson, shooting 1 and 1.
Also into the game, Logan Barrett. Here's Gustafson. Makes the first, he'll get the second. He now has all 6 Wakefield points. (24-7), 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go before halftime. Ravenna with a commanding lead in the C-2 state championship game. And we'll be back. Welcome back to the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Ravenna in white, Wakefield in the maroon road jerseys in this C2 championship game. Ravenna with the basketball and the lead. Habe looking around, has Cyborn, open 3, yes!
He was just sitting there waiting for that ball to come around to him. And you always tell guards to be a shooter. Before you get the ball, always look to shoot the basketball. And that's what he did.
Well, Ravenna has shot 48% for the game, including 4 3-pointers. They've hit on 4 out of 9 here so far, as Wakefield, again, nothing doing in the offensive end. Held to just 7 points here in the first half, and we're under 2 minutes to go before the break. Barrett looks outside.
Oh, man.
Oh, they had him held up for a moment, but a nice play by Baronic to get open, take it strong to the baseline, just did not finish his shot. Still a comfortable margin.
What makes this game hard now is if you're Wakefield, you want a slow tempo and you want to keep the game low scoring, but you're down 20 points at this point. So you sort of have to pick things up a little bit and look for your shots a little quicker than you normally would.
Floater in the lane, no. So far, Wakefield has had very little luck inside in this game. Another 3. Odd spin on the ball. It was kind of a side-to-side spin, like he was spinning a globe. That was Logan Barrett with the 3. 59.5 seconds left. Substitutions in for both squads. Beranek will trigger it in. He does. Short. Rebound to Tanner Soderberg. Here comes Peters. Ravenna's not letting anything inside right now. Bounce pass in the lane and a block, but a foul. Tonagis. That's his first. Team foul number 8. And free throws coming up for Taylor Peters, who had 12 yesterday and 15 on Thursday. Averages 10 and 3 for the season. Makes the first, and that is the first player outside of Corey Gustafson to have a point for Wakefield here in this first half. Gustafson had the first 7. If you're Wakefield right now, you've got to find a way to get some penetration on that interior defense. They've been very, very hesitant so far.
That's right. You got to find a shooter, too, can knock down some shots from the perimeter. That was going to have to be Taylor Peters and Andy Hampel, but so far it just hasn't been there.
27-8. Ravenna will likely hold for the last shot here, as they'll run the weave at the top. 15 seconds left. Beranek across the floor. Cyborn to the free throw line, and he drills it.
Yeah, he's feeling it. 21 has the stroke this morning.
Final seconds ticking away. That shot not even close. It has been a struggle in the first half for Wakefield, and Ravenna is off to a rip-roaring start, leading at 29-8 at the end of the first half. Let's go down now. The third member of our broadcast crew today is Kyle D'Elia. Kyle?
Thanks, John. Coach Clay here for Wakefield. The point differential probably doesn't say it, but Ravenna 71 points a game. Probably, Coach, if someone say you hold them to 29 at the break, you'd be happy, right? And how do you just keep your kids to keep the heads up as far as those shots not going down?
We're getting some decent looks, but we're just not, hitting them right now. And I think we got a little old state championship jitters right now. We just got to get some confidence, keep the attack, and I think we're not very aggressive. Ravenna's the aggressor right now. We just got to hit a few shots, have fun, relax, and hopefully good things will happen.
All right, Coach, go get your kids. Good attitude. They're kind of holding their own, Wakefield, on the boards, or it could be much worse. Hey, give Ravenna credit. They're up 29-8. We're back after the break. At halftime of each championship game, we recognize the 10-11 coaches All-State team. Ballot forms sent to coaches throughout Nebraska. 10-11 tallied those votes. Here is your 2005 boys class C-2 All-State team.
The C-2 All-State team starts with Ravenna junior Drake Beranek, a 3-year starter for the Blue Jays. Beranek scores 20.5 to go with 10 boards and 5.3 assists. Super sophomore Tyler Peterson is a big reason Louisville landed back in state, scores 19.5. The point guard owns the Lions record for trays in a season. Senior Trevin Stutzman is one of Friend's best athletes. The forward plays an attacking game, scores just about 18, rebounds close to 9. Stand out in football, too. Senior East Butler guard Joel Zetek is a former 10-11 prep football athlete of the week. A 4-year hoop starter, he scores 17.6, leads the Tigers in scoring every year. Tyler Saborn is another junior returning to state with Ravenna, part of that Blue Jays long undefeated streak, scores 17 and the #1 student in your class, and that's your C-2 boys All-State team.
Break. Wakefield held to just 8 points in that first half of play as we review the 10-11 coaches All-State team. And we've got a 3-guard lineup and some good ones out there. And two of the players on this team playing in this game, Drake Beranek, the forward, and Tyler Cyborn, the guard from Ravenna. But also in that group, Tyler Peterson from Louisville, 19 points, 5 rebounds per game. We've got some good scorers in this group.
You definitely do. Tyler Peterson picked up where Joseph Jackson Jr. left off at Louisville. Stutzman, of course, the great athletic family and friend, Joel Zetek, Also the quarterback of the football team, a tremendous athlete for East Butler. And Cyborn has really shown what he can do in this first half, as well as Drake Baronic, a couple of great players for Ravenna. You can see why they're here, John.
Well, no doubt. Baronic and Cyborn have combined for 20 of Ravenna's 29 points in this first half. Baronic has 12, Cyborn has 8, including 5 rebounds in that first half for the Blue Jays. So it's 29-8. If you're Ravenna, you just keep doing what you're doing. If you're Wakefield, you hope like heck you can start making some baskets, because it has been a struggle in the first half. We'll come back with more from the Bob Devaney Sports Center as we continue. We'll look at the first half numbers when we return on 1011 and NET.
Statistics are brought to you in part by Option Herbicide.
Well, knock on helmet, the Trojans are hoping to resurrect their hopes here in the second half as Ravenna leads at 29-8. The halftime numbers, it's all about shooting so far. Ravenna 12 of 26, including 4 of 10 from three-point range. Ravenna shooting 46% for the first half, while Wakefield is just 2 of their first 18. That's 11%. They're also getting beat on the boards by 7. If you take a look at the leading scorers in this game, Drake Baronic and Tyler Cyborn, as we mentioned. Baronic with 8, Baronic with 12, Cyborn with 8. Corey Gustafson has all but one of Wakefield's first half 8 points. Really, the only other bright spot is that Andy Hampel's already pulled down 8 rebounds, but unfortunately, you need Hampel to start getting into the scoring column for you. He averages 8 points a game, but it has been a tough go of things for Wakefield in this first half. Also, Taylor Peters has just 1 point in the first half on a free throw, and he's committed 6 turnovers. Wakefield will need to liven things up here in the second half, but against Ravenna and their press, could be a very difficult uphill climb. We'll be back and have more right after this.
Coach, our guys at the desk pointed out, this is about the point differential. You beat teams. How do you keep that going and kind of go for the put away here in a state tournament?
Well, our guys know that these guys are pretty good. They didn't get here for any, reason other than hard work and great defense. And we know that Wakefield's got an excellent basketball team. Our guys are focused, and they still know that there's another half of basketball. We got a job to do.
We look forward to good luck in that job. Ravenna's got 2 All-Staters. Thank you, Coach, and could have a state championship in 27-0 to go with. We're back after the break.
Ravenna trying for his first state championship since 1927. Wakefield has not won since 1948, so it's been a while for these two programs. In fact, Ravenna, and this is, again, one of those things that you just love about high school basketball. Before the team left town earlier this week, they had a mini parade through the main street of town, and one of the parade route followers was a gentleman by the name of Albert Schmaljohn, as Drake Baronic pours in his 14th point of the game. Albert Schmaljohn was a member of the last team to win a state basketball championship in Ravenna, so he would be about 95 years old. And if he's watching out there, and I'm sure you are, so far the hometown is doing all right. They're finally going to have it. I would like to see the trophies from those days, because I know they don't look anything like the trophies today. Be a lot of fun to take a look at that. Open 3, Cyborn, and Ravenna is going for the knockout punch right away.
Yeah, you can tell if that talk with Smalljohn didn't have any effect on him. I don't know what did, but it looks like it definitely did, because this Blue Jay team has just been playing at that extra gear this morning that Wakefield has not found.
34-8. This is the biggest lead of the game. Needs some aggression there. Got the defender to overcommit. Had an open shot, and it was still short. Fumbled it away. Henderson.
Nice pass.
And a blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Really, but that last play really kind of symbolizes this morning so far for Wakefield, because Henderson really could have taken it into the hole himself. Instead, he stopped. It looked like he had an open opportunity, but then he stopped, turned around, and gave it to his teammate. You always appreciate unselfishness, but there are some times where you've got to go in strong and make that defense commit. Maybe get a three-point play opportunity.
Not be indecisive against this Ravenna team. The more tentative you are when you have an aggressive team on defense, John, the more aggressive they become.
Yeah, and in some cases, they may not even be that aggressive, but it just seems that way because you're heading into a vicious cycle.
Oh,
another three. Tyler Syborn with 14 points. He and Baranek tied for the lead scorer of the game. It's 37-10. And a turnover. Boy, what a tough morning it's been for Taylor Peters. Had 6 first-half turnovers. And that ball was thrown away. Well, we asked at the outset if Wakefield had one more stone left in the sling. Apparently, the satchel is empty. Got to make up a 27-point game. Alley-oop pass. 2 teammates were there at the same time. Look underneath, wide open.
This offense just keeps moving. Always somebody moving, always somebody flashing to the ball, setting a screen. It's exactly how a motion offense would run. This Ravenna team's very well coached.
And they start 4 juniors. The only senior on this team on the starting lineup is Josh Luth. The other seniors come off the bench. So you talk about a team that's en route to going 27-0 and winning a state championship. This could very much be like the teams back in the 20s where, because Ravenna won 4 state championships in a 9-year span, but their last one was in 1927. Well, they could be running off a similar string some 70-plus years later, at least with the young men that they have. High lob, Baranek.
Great catch that time by Baranek. Timeout.
Play of Wakefield, 41-10. Ravenna has thrown the knockout punch, it would appear, here in the 3rd quarter.
This is the play just before the break. Look at the post up, the catch, the finish. That's why he's an all-stater right now. 16 points for Mr. Baranek.
That gives him 74 points for the state tournament. He had 58 in the first 2 days combined, a 30-point performance on day 1 against Fullerton, and 28 points yesterday in the win over West Point Central Catholic. 41-10. There, oh, again, Joel Nixon, open. Shot was just too strong. Well, Coach Clay had mentioned at halftime with Kyle that state tournament nerves, apparently the nerves didn't calm down at halftime. 3 ball from the corner, no. And we have a foul. It's been quite a rapidly paced basketball game. Not a lot of whistles. That's just the 2nd foul of the 2nd half. Both on Ravenna. Nathan Ritz and Andy Schlund coming in, so a couple more seniors who have not yet scored in this tournament. You have a feeling we're going to see a lot more reserves here in this 3rd quarter, and especially in the 4th, with a 31-point lead. And another turnover. 2 of 21 in the first 2.5 quarters of this game for Wakefield. 6 of their points have been at the charity stripe. Ravenna, here's Ritz. Outside, Baranek takes it in. Nice up and under move, gets his miss, and it rolls down.
So much size down there. He never gave up that time, Baranek.
33-point lead, Baranek with 18.
This kind of reminds me of the old Kentucky teams back in the 90s, you know, like Walter McCarty and Antoine Walker. Baranek's got that size and range.
Falling to the floor after the miss was Andy Hampel, And again, Wakefield will go to the free
Foul
throw
number
line.
31, Drake Veronic, his second personal foul, 13th foul against the Blue Jays.
Well,
Free throw line number 23.
they're already looking into the record books for the most lopsided
Shooting 2.
championship games. You have to go back to 1984 when Clearwater defeated Lexington St. Anne's 71-31. That was a 40-point spread. Right now the spread is 32 as the free throw is good by Hampel, 43-11.
Another telling statistic, I think, of everybody on the floor right now for Wakefield. There's only been 2 fouls called on Wakefield. Of course, it's never your object to foul, but I think that statistic kind of maybe shows a lack of intensity here in this game.
Here's Nixon, outlet down the floor. And a foul. Veronic wants a jump ball. He's not going to get that call. And again, well, if Wakefield can keep going to the free throw line, maybe they can score some points, because that's where they've gotten 7 out of their 11 so far. Is at the free throw line. Andy Hampel averaging 8 points. Has 4 today as he makes another free throw, 43-12. Justin Kowicki back in the game for Paul Veronic and the Blue Jays. Second free throw good, 43-13. 3 minutes left to play here, third quarter. The first of 6 championship games at the boys state tournament. Our next game in Class D2 will be a rematch.
Fouls number 4, Phil Nixon. His first personal foul
Of last year's title game between Loomis and Lindsay Holy Family. And then the Class A final will precede our break, our mid-session break. Omaha Creighton Prep and defending state champion Bellevue West. Luth caught in the corner. And there's a foul on Wakefield. Yeah, it was an interesting point you made, Drew, about the fact that Wakefield, it's their second foul here in the third quarter, really didn't have any fouls in the first half either. There just hasn't been that intensity. I mean, you're right, you don't like to foul, but it appears as if Wakefield can't get it out of first gear right now.
Exactly. I think a high tempo team like this, you got to slow it down and you got to be physical, and Wakefield hasn't been able to do either.
3 from Luth. Rebound to Gardner. Down the floor for the Trojans. Gardner in the lane, stopped. Gives it off. And a charging foul. Hampel goes in strong, and
offensive foul number 23, Andy Hampel, his first personal foul.
a little too strong, 43-13.
John, you mentioned this Ravenna team and their encounter with Mr. Small John. Well, they also went on a retreat after the last practice before the first game of the year. Coach Veronic says he took the team to a hotel in Kearney, and basically it was a bonding experience for the entire team. That's a unique thing. Rarely do you see teams just kind of get away for 3 days, but that's what these guys did. He said, we made more progress during that time than we did in all of our practices in the preseason.
Low arcing 3 is short. Rebound to Wakefield. Under 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. Well, the good news is Ravenna's not really on pace to get their 70-plus points, but their defense has been the key one today. And they've taken advantage of some poor shooting by Wakefield. Luth outside the arc. Veronic, a head fake, outside, 3 on the way, yes! Justin Kowicki with 7 points. Lead is back to 33. Now, it's nice when you get a chance, Coach Veronic talking about how this team fishes together. We just have a lot of fun. And that's one thing you never want to lose sight of at the high school level. You want to make sure that the experience is fun And even though, as we have a 30-second timeout taken by Ravenna, I think they wanted to get some of their reserves into the basketball game, but you never want to lose sight of having fun when you're playing basketball, because so often can be taken too seriously.
Exactly.
And you know, you don't sometimes sit back and appreciate the fun that you have playing this game.
Exactly. I'll tell you just a personal story real quick. My junior year of high school, my team lost every single game. We were 0-21 in that year, but I think throughout that year, I learned more during that year than I did any other year in playing sports in my life, because that was the most challenging. And neither one of these teams, you know, are up against that type of situation, but still you get the idea. Sometimes you learn just as much in losing that you do in winning, and that's what these games are all about.
Well, to get to the state tournament, as Wakefield did, as the 4th seed in their sub-district, and then to upset 2 straight ranked teams, the number 2 and the number 5 ranked teams in the state, to get to the championship, as there's a drive and a basket by Lucas Tonagis to make it a 35-point spread. You know, that's saying something. That is an impressive feat. As I, again, in my 10 years of doing this, I don't remember a team that made it out of the play-in game in their sub-district to even the state tournament, much less the championship game. So what Wakefield has accomplished this year is very noteworthy.
It's amazing. Simply amazing. The legs and the tempo have not been here this morning, but you can't take anything away from what this team has accomplished all year.
Well, no one else has beaten Ravenna in 26, now 27 games. They're just another in a long line of teams that Ravenna has taken out. And Ravenna, by the way, they're a C-2 ball club, but they've played some quality C1 opposition, including 2 wins this season over Kearney Catholic, who was a C1 qualifier this year. Grand Island Central Catholic, who was in the semifinals yesterday, as at the buzzer. Ravenna goes to the final 8 minutes, leading 48-13. Back for the 4th quarter of the C2 championship game. John Bishop and Andrew Felios here courtside as a driving layup to start the quarter. Taylor Peters with a field goal. That's just the 3rd field goal of the game for Wakefield, but a good start to the final period. You know, if you're Wakefield, you want to make sure these last 8 minutes, you cherish these last 8 minutes, because you never know if you're ever going to get back here.
Well, I really like Tyler Saborn. I mean, this kid has not broken a sweat the entire game, and I mean, he doesn't even look like he's huffing and puffing. Always moving without the ball, always looking to shoot. You saw the offensive move down on the other end on that last play.
Watching the faces on the Wakefield players, you would anticipate, as we have a travel, you would anticipate it'd be a lot of long looks. But you know, you look at the bench there, and everyone's attentive, they're alert. I mean, I think they realized coming in it was going to be a very tough match for them. And the fact that this game was put away relatively early as a charge is called on Cyborn. So we'll go back the other way with Wakefield and the possession. I think they realize too, hey, you know, the fact that we're playing here in the last game of the season,
awesome.
when no one thought we'd even get out of our sub-district, I think they realize just how special this is. And I think this team will probably cherish that runner-up trophy more than any other team will on this championship Saturday. It's just nothing against the other teams that will be runner-up today, but the road that this team traveled to get here was a lot tougher than anybody else in the state. Foul's going to be called on Justin Kulwicki, and we'll have more free throws for Wakefield as Taylor Peters will toe the line. Peters is a 5'10" senior. Next season, Wakefield will return Luke Henderson and Andy Hampel and Corey Gustafson, so they have 3/5 of their starting lineup back.
And they've got a very good freshman, number 4, Joel Nixon. We haven't called his name much today, but Coach Mike Clay is very high on him. So yeah, definitely a very good nucleus coming back for this Trojan team.
finally gets the friendly bounce, 50-17. Beranek into the front court. You know, you look at him, he's a wiry, doesn't look like he could do much to you, but he got great quickness. There he was, great hands.
I think
as
he
he's
heard
able
you.
to switch from left to right, lay it in, draw the foul.
I think he heard you that time, John.
Really, I mean, you look, take a look. I mean, just real quick, left to right, lay it up, go to the free throw line. You take a look at him, he doesn't look intimidating, but he has been a superstar this year for Ravenna.
Yeah.
And he gets to come back for one more year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this could be the beginning of a little mini dynasty here for Ravenna. You mentioned the Wakefield roster. Ravenna only one senior in their starting lineup. So this team could definitely be back here next year in this first game.
53-17 to the baseline. It's good. It rattles home for Gustafson. You know, you look at this record. After this game, Ravenna will be 27-0. That's a 27-game winning streak. That's the longest in the state. Just imagine, you've got 3 more seasons to go before you can even begin to touch Wahoo's 114-game winning streak. To this day, it still is a stunning display of basketball power.
What year was that from now for Wahoo?
It was late 80s to the early 90s. I don't have the exact year. I gotta look that up before Who will ever forget from 1988 to 1993, the 3rd longest win streak all time in America. 5:45 left to play. Ravenna 56, Wakefield 19. Stay right there. The final 5 minutes and 43 seconds of this Class C2 championship game. Ravenna leading Wakefield 56-19 to kind of finish the thought on Wahoo and their amazing win streak of 114. I don't think anyone who saw it will ever forget that unbelievable rally in the final 10 seconds of the Class B championship early in that streak against Pius X, where Wahoo was down 6 and got back-to-back threes from Troy Glock and Bernie Inbody. The second being back in the old days where that N is at the center court. It was a steal by Gustafson and a strong move to the hole for 2.
All right.
But I still remember the map of the state was in the middle of the floor instead of just the end, and one of those 3-pointers was just inside the map of the state of Nebraska, and it tied the game, forced overtime, and Wahoo went on to win that game and continue that amazing winning streak.
And it also makes it amazing, too, because West Point Central Catholic, on the girls' side at least, they've got a streak going of their own.
Tyler Saborn with another 2. He's got 18. It's 58-21. Crashing to the ground goes Josh Luth. He commits the foul. It's the 7th foul on Ravenna. This will be a 2-shot situation for Andy Hampel with 5 points today and 9 rebounds. (58-21). Second one is good. 36-point lead for Ravenna. On their way to their first state championship since 1927. They were a Class B school back then. High lob from the alley-oop and had to duck for it. Luth now back out to Beranek, who will take it right in through the lane.
Oh, nice move.
Great ball control as he really kind of spun the ball off the back side of his wrist. It was really kind of hard to do, but there's a nice feed underneath. No basket. It will mean free throws, however, for Cody Miller, a 6-foot senior averaging 6 points. Had kind of a quiet state tournament, had 4 points on the first day and did not score yesterday for Wakefield. Miller looking for his first point in the championship game, and it in and out. But Gustafson with the rebound. 3 from the wing is good. Finally a three-pointer for Wakefield as Andy Hampel knocks it down, and that gets a big cheer from the Wakefield side.
We just heard the fans behind us saying, guys, just have fun. They want to have fun this final 4 minutes.
3 the other way. Up and under for Beranek. No. Tip, no. Foul.
He doesn't stop, does he?
No, he does not. Just keeps right on going.
Oh, man. Nobody's told him that this game has become lopsided. He's playing like these two teams are tied down to the wire.
And now we're going to have mass substitutions as Mike Clay will clean the bench. Joel Nixon will come in. As you take a look at the upperclassmen who leave.
This is a class act by Wakefield. These kids that are coming out of the game for Wakefield, no, obviously they're conceding this one. Still plenty of time to go. He could leave those starters in to make the score more respectable. But Coach Clay deciding the experience is more valuable than anything.
Well, and there's also an opportunity for a couple of seniors. Kyle Gardner and Marion Miner, who are in the low blocks for Wakefield. As Josh Luth off the miss.
And right there,
commits the foul.
Yeah, you see some emotion there on the Ravenna bench, and it's
and that's the winning side.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Justin Kulwicki.
The celebration's going to start a little early this time, John.
James Hay off the floor. That's great to see. Here's Marion Miner, senior. Going to play out these last 3:35 of his high school career. That was partially blocked, but flying in for the rebound was Beranek. Holy cow. Like he came out of nowhere.
I think about that retreat that Coach Paul Beranek talked about. I mean, that's something that you do with your Sunday school class or a church group, not something you would do with a basketball team to open up and really get personal with guys. And I think that's why it's so unique, you know what I mean?
Behind the back dish there by Beranek a moment ago.
I mean, that's something that you would do with your fraternity brothers or something you
Sure.
would do with a youth group, but not really a basketball team. That's where you're supposed to be tough, and that's where guys are supposed to be macho. But this team, they all opened up to each other, and you could tell this is as tight a knit group as you see Cyber in there going to the bench. This is as tight a knit group as I think we're going to see all day.
First free throw missed by Tyler Techmeyer, who's another senior, is going to get a chance to play out the final 3 minutes. 61-25, Ravenna with the lead. It's been that kind of day for Wakefield. You get a point-blank look at the basket, and it just, nothing seems to want to fall. 2:46 left to go, fourth quarter, Ravenna 61, Wakefield 25. We'll be back and wrap up this one after this. 61-25, Ravenna with the 36-point lead and the basketball. Over in the corner, that's Nathan Ritz. To Beranek, still in the game for Wakefield, or for Ravenna. Three is good from Josh Luth. He's got 10.
He has done it from the inside and the outside. That was a good-looking shot by the big man.
Nixon, the freshman. Pass to the corner. Loose ball on the floor. Beranek outlets down the lane for Luth. He's fouled, missed the layup, and a collision there as it got entangled up with a photographer, I think the Husker Vision photographer. It's another one of the neat things since they installed the Husker Vision screens is that these guys get a chance to see themselves on the big screen. Luth makes the first. He's got 11. We're going to start seeing more substitutions, and Drake Beranek comes out to a standing ovation. 24 points, 7 rebounds. Second free throw by Luth is good, and it's 66-25. 2 minutes to play. This is Tanner Soderberg to Minor, Marion Minor. And that'll be an over and back.
Check it in.
And more substitutions as John Grabowski comes in, and that will mean Josh Luth, the senior, the only starting senior, he will go out as the state champion.
Oh, this is great. It's amazing when you think about it. 1927, that was before World War II.
Long time ago. Feed in the lane, loose ball on the floor. Saved by Klein. Aaron Klein in the game now. Another senior for Wakefield. And we'll have a foul. Andy Schlund with the personal.
Foul is on number 24. Andy Schlund, his first
Minute
personal
32
foul.
left to go, and that'll send Max Grieve to the free throw line. Grieve, a 6'2" sophomore. 3 points all season long. See if we can get in the scoring column in the state championship game.
That's right. None of the players on the floor from Wakefield right now have a point to their name. Let's see right now if Grieve can break that spell.
Not quite. Less than 90 seconds to go. Logan Barrett, a whole bunch of new faces in there. John Grabowski. Up top for Schlund. Looking around. Pass was rejected though. Grieve got in the way of it. Forces the turnover. Here comes Wakefield. Coming up on a minute to play. Pull-up free throw, or pull-up baseline jumper, I beg your pardon, is short, but that's because he was hit on the arm. And that'll send Aaron Klein to the free throw line. He has yet to score in this state tournament, so he has his chance at the free throw line. You know, you see a stat like free throws attempted as Logan Barrett comes out. Wakefield has attempted 3 times as many free throws as Ravenna. Usually you would think, well, we got a probably got a win out of this. Well, not today. 40-point lead for Ravenna. Under a minute to go. That ball was kicked. It will stay Ravenna basketball.
You mentioned the free throws. The field goals, though, Ravenna has attempted 49, Wakefield 29.
Look inside, pass was too high, taken away by Grieve. That'll be a travel. James Bierbauer trying to take it down the floor on the outlet pass. 47 seconds left. Stay tuned after the game. We'll have the medal presentations and interviews with the state champions, all coming up here on 1011 and NET.
And we got 5 more games coming up as well.
Shot too strong off the glass as we tick down to 30 seconds to play. Klein all the way through. He'll go to the free throw line. Well, Albert Schmaljohn and the rest of the 1927 Ravenna basketball team, you're about to have company. I wonder if they still have that trophy. I'd be fascinated to see. If you want a nice little history lesson into the history of high school basketball, try going to Lincoln High School sometime. One of the oldest, well, in fact, it is the oldest high school in the state. They've got trophies dating back to the early 1900s. And it's fascinating to see the development of the trophies and the medals and the things that they used to give out for championships. You sometimes wonder if those things get locked away or get lost. I guarantee you they're not going to lose this trophy, because they've been waiting 70+ years for a chance to get another one. Pull up at the baseline is short. That's the ball game. Ravenna 66, Wakefield 28. The Blue Jays are state champions. Stay tuned for the medal presentations. It was all Ravenna right from the very start, holding Wakefield to just 8 points in the first half and 20 in the second half. Ravenna wins their first state championship since 1927. Let's go down now courtside for the sportsmanship and medal presentations.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nebraska Coaches Association and the Nebraska Athletic Administrators Association are proud to support the positive aspects of high school athletics. Good sportsmanship is a key factor in our philosophy. And at this time, we are pleased to present the Class C-2 Sportsmanship Award. The trophies are graciously donated by Awards Unlimited. Making the presentations are Dan Keyser of Cambridge High School and Jim Eberly of Red Cloud High School. Ladies and gentlemen, the Class C-2 Sportsmanship Award winner is Wisner Pilger High School. Receiving the award is Athletic Director Chuck Russ. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nebraska School Activities Association is pleased to present medals and trophies to both of these outstanding teams. The awards will be presented by NSAA Board of Control members Mike Truxell of Sutherland and Glenn Morgan of Neely Oakdale. They will be assisted by U.S. Bank Representative Dolores Tierway. First, here are the awards for the 2005 Class C-2 runner-up from Wakefield High School. Will head coach Mike Clay and your assistant step toward the middle of the court to present the silver medals to each member of your team. Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 4, Joel Nixon. Number 5, Luke Henderson. Number 23, Andy Hempel. Number 33, Jim Bierbauer. Number 45, Corey Gustafson. Number 50, Tanner Soderberg. Number 53, Max Grieve. And to the seniors, number 22, Taylor Peters. Number 24, Cody Miller. Number 30, Aaron Klein. Number 32, Kyle Gardner. And number 34, Marion Miner. Gentlemen, all of you are welcome to receive the runner-up trophy for your school. Congratulations, Wakefield High School, 2005 Class C-2 state runner-up. And ladies and gentlemen, now to the champions from Ravenna High School. First, head coach Paul Baronic. We have a special coaches award for you. Now, Coach, hand out the gold medals to your championship team members. Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 21, Tyler Saborn. Number 22, Tanner Schroll. Number 30, Logan Barrett. Number 31, Drake Baronic. Number 32, James Habe. Number 41, Lucas Tonages. Number 43, Justin Kowicki. Number 50, John Grabowski. And now to the seniors. Number 15, Nathan Ritz. Number 24, Andy Schlund. Number 40, Josh Luth. And number 42, Tyler Teichmeyer. Gentlemen, now all of you are welcome to receive the state championship trophy. Congratulations to the Blue Jays of Ravenna High School, the 2005 Class C-2 state basketball champions.
Well, if you want to take away something, Wakefield fans, here's a stat for you. The 28 points scored by Wakefield is the most ever scored against Ravenna in a state championship game. In fact, the last 4 state championships by Ravenna, all from 1918 to 1927, they beat Seward 30-2, Friend 18-6, Genoa 14-8, and Norfolk 10-8. That equals 24. Wakefield scored 28 today. And it was still an impressive defensive performance by Ravenna. Of course, back in those days, points were very hard to come by. But for Ravenna, it's their first state title since 1927, and we are going to meet up with the state champion Blue Jays and their head coach coming up in the backstage area in just a few moments. We're going to head it down courtside here first, though, as we'll get a word with the runner-up coach.
Thanks, John. Mike Clay, great attitude. Heard you saying to one of the media guys, you're pretty proud of your guys being runner-up in the state.
Oh yeah, you know, we came from a 4th seed in sub-districts and made a great run. And we knew Ravenna is an excellent ball club. You know, they've, finished from wire to wire #1. So, we're very happy with what happened, and we'll just keep moving on and going from there. Okay.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Much to be proud of.
All right, thank you.
All right, Coach Clay with the Wakefield runner-up team. We got Drew coming back, and John, we'll see you after the break.
Statistics are brought to you in part by Option Herbicide.
Well, Ravenna is going to savor this one as long as they can. They're still out on the floor taking pictures. Well, they've waited an awful long time for this, so they figure they're going to do whatever it is they need to celebrate this state championship. As we take a look at the final numbers on this state championship performance by Ravenna, Really, the difference in the game, field goals. 51% for Ravenna. Wakefield just hit 6 field goals the entire game. The state champs were led by Drake Veronic with 24 points. Tyler Sodborn had 18. Josh Luth a double-double of 12 and 11. Corey Gustafson leads the way for Wakefield, the only player in double figures with 11 points. When we come back, we'll go to the backstage and join the state champions from Ravenna.
There's your final score, and you've got a new C2 state champion. Ravenna 66-28 over Wakefield. Back now in the locker room with Coach Paul Veronic. First time since 1927. This has got to be a very special moment in your life, in your team's life, obviously.
Very special moment in my life, but I want to give all the credit to God, who makes me a better man every day, and I thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. But we have an awesome group of guys, and the people at Ravenna, I hope, are very proud of us.
Coach, you told me before the game it was a retreat at the beginning of the year that really got your team closer together. And then watching your guys come out of the game at the end of the game really gave people an idea of how tight your team is. Was that a big difference in the way your season went?
These guys are like brothers that were, surrogate somewhere, and they just were matched up somehow. And, we're very fortunate with the guys that we have. They are a close-knit group. We did go to retreat, and we set this as our goal. It's a lofty goal, but they sincerely meant it, and fortunately for us, we met it.
And you got one senior in your lineup, the rest of the guys juniors, so this could be the start of something very special at your school.
Could be, but I wouldn't trade any one of those 4 seniors for anybody. Josh Luth, Andy Schlund, Nathan Ritz, and Tyler Techmeyer, I wish they were back for another year because they bought into what we wanted to do. They played the way we were supposed to, and they're great human beings. So I'm very lucky to even have them on our basketball team.
Last question, what are you going to remember about these kids and what they've done for your town and your school?
Well, the thing I remember the most is their relentlessness on defense, their passion for their game, and their love for the game also, and also the fact that they are great guys. They stand for what's right in the youth right now. You won't find these guys messing around. Alcohol and partying is not in their lingo. I'm just so blessed. These are some of the best kids anybody could have.
Coach, congratulations. Exemplifying what it means to be a sportsman right there, Coach Paul Veronic, the head coach of the Ravenna Blue Jays. An emotional moment back here in the locker room. When we come back, we'll meet the team. The celebration has begun for Ravenna. We'll be right back. Back here in the locker room with the C2 state champions, just crowned minutes ago, the Ravenna Blue Jays. James Habe, just a junior. Congratulations. This one obviously long overdue.
Oh yeah, this was so much fun. This year's it's flown by because we had so much fun. It's just a great group of guys to hang around with.
Talk about your style of play, the up-tempo, the pressing, the getting it to the main guys, Cyber and Veronic, and just kind of watching them go, and the way you guys were able to execute your game plan.
Our team's so unselfish. We know who to get the ball to, and we're so well conditioned. We like getting up and down and just wearing other teams out. And in the fourth quarter, we're usually way ahead.
You're just a junior, too. Quite a future for you guys.
Hopefully. It'll be another fun year next year, hopefully.
Hey, man, congratulations. Okay, hand the trophy off. This is Justin Kolwicki, also a junior. Congratulations. Junior, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Talk about the way you guys were able to work that ball inside. You really took advantage of Wakefield down there.
Yeah, well, the game plan was, we didn't think that they could guard Josh, and we just pounded inside. He's a great player.
Talk about this team and the way you guys just came together as the year went along.
It's like Mr. B said, we're just like a team, family together. We just bond really good together. It's like we live together.
Watching you on that sideline, the fourth quarter when you came out, obviously very emotional. What's going through your head at that point?
I just couldn't believe it. I didn't believe that it hadn't sunk in yet, and just sending these seniors out like this is the way to be. I just couldn't go no other way.
Mr. Kolwicki, congratulations. Okay, let's get your other teammate here. This is Josh Luth. He is a senior, the big guy for this Ravenna squad. Hey, congratulations, big man. Hey, I saw you step out there and knock down a three-pointer, not just from the inside, you did it from the outside as well.
Yeah, the coach was saying I needed 3 more points for a double-double, so he's like, we got to get you a 3. So he just told me to get out and shoot, keep shooting, and that's what we, I don't know.
You're a senior. What are you going to remember about this group?
It's great. It's just like having a new family. Me and Mr. B just really, I always borrowed money from him, and I still haven't paid him back yet, but So I'm going to start building up some money and paying him back. And, I mean, the whole group has just been great. I love the guys, and I'm going to miss them a lot.
Hey, congratulations, man. It's been a pleasure watching you play. And don't remind your coach about that money. Of course, maybe you could graduate without paying him back. Congratulations. Let's bring in now Tyler Seibern. Let's bring in Drake Baranek, too. Is he back there? Come on in, man. All right, here we go. Come on in, both of the All-Staters here. Talk about you guys starting something fresh and starting something new here for your squad.
You know, well, we just try to get it around, and we didn't start out very good last year, and we left on a bad note, and we just tried to keep it going and get some momentum going into state and districts.
Drake, was there any slowing you guys down? I mean, how were you guys able to execute your game plan so perfectly out there?
Oh, we got a great team, and we just work together like a cohesive unit, and it's just hard to stop us.
Talk about, too, the retreat you guys went on at the beginning of the year and how that made a difference in how the year wound up.
Oh, that's a blast, and it just kind of brings us together because, you know, we all have our own winter sport, or our first sport, and that gives us, just tightens us up a little bit and gets us ready for the season.
First title since 1927, man. How much are you going to cherish this moment?
It really hasn't sunk in yet, but it will on the ride home, I'm sure, and it's just a great way to send the seniors off, so couldn't have done a better way, I don't think.
Tyler Seibern, Drake Baranek, guys, congratulations. Okay, true class acts here. The Ravenna Blue Jays, your new state champions in Class C1. What a moment. The first time since 1927 this has happened, something they will definitely remember the rest of their lives. Hey, we've got 5 more games left to go on this championship Saturday. The D2 final. We start the build-up here and the countdown when we come back.